DymondGyrl, your diva in knowledge. Lady Mocha represent Mocha's Cafe Day Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. I want to thank each and every one of you who have recently subscribed to my channel. I welcome you to Mocha's Cafe Day Paris family. Those of you who have been rocking with me from day one, I appreciate your loyalty and still rocking with me throughout this journey. And if you have not subscribed and you like what you hear today, please make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way, in the event I upload any new content, you will not miss out. Those of you who want to help my brand to continue to grow, you're more than welcome to cash out at DymondGyrl, DymondGyrl. Alrighty, so I want to go specifically in today's content, today's recipe. On today's menu, I want to talk about married women that are thirst trapping. Yes, married women that are thirst trapping. A lot of the time when we hear the terms thirst trapping, we automatically think it's only single women or single mothers that are thirst trapping. But the actuality is there are married women that are also thirsting for attention. Take, for instance, Chrissy Teigen, John Legend's wife, who evidently does not know her place as a wife, and she has embarrassed John Legend numerous occasions, and yet he still doesn't have a backbone. Chrissy has no respect for John Legend based on the things she has said and done to him publicly. Now, she has taken disrespect to a whole nother level. She posted this thirst trap photo on Instagram that was so distasteful that even Instagram had it removed. Now, whenever I see a married woman that's posting thirst target pictures and she's dressed over revealing, there's a true indication that something just isn't clean in the buttermilk. No married woman should be dressed as if she's not getting enough pipe or good wood at home. Chrissy Teigen's thirst trap photo says, "My husband is a square dude and he's not pleasing me enough, so therefore I am exposing my nipples to entice other men to desire me." Trust and believe, a married woman that is sexually satisfied doesn't feel the need to lure men by thirst trapping. A wife knows that she is her husband's prized possession, so she's not going to overly expose her body to get other men to notice her. If anything, she's only going to preserve her goodies for her husband. Chrissy is only giving off thirst trap vibes. Now we will get into the steak and potatoes, the ingredients as to what causes married women to become thirst trappers. So, starting with number one, what is causing these married women out here to start thirst trapping? The first reason is she's not being pleased sexually in her marriage. Now, the truth is, you have some husbands, some men that are great providers. They will pay the bills. They will keep you in a beautiful home. They will have you driving the freshest whips and give you the much access, to all the platinum cars, but they make a woman more dry than the Sahara Desert in the bedroom. Some husbands just don't do it for their wives. They just don't. They may have beautiful children and beautiful life, but some men just don't know how to sexually please a woman. Let's just be frank, okay? Yes, he's a good dude, but, the head game is lame. He doesn't know how to put in work on that backstroke. You have some women that are very promiscuous. You have some women that are way more freakier than men. If a wife is not being pleased sexually in her marriage, she may tell herself she will never cheat on her husband, but what she will do is set up a honey trap, waiting for a bumblebee, a thirsty dude that will sip from her nectar. In other words, she will never leave her husband because he's a great provider, but she will entertain the thought of letting a side dude smash if the opportunity was to present itself. You have these women, these married women that are married to these high value, successful men. And these are the same women that will turn around and cheat with the gardener, will cheat with the pool boy, will cheat with the mover, the guy who moves their furniture. They will basically let a side pookie or a side better male smash, while at the same token they're still receiving the benefits and the privileges of being married to a high value man. Yes, you can be a high value man and lame as hell. You can wear, $1,000 suits, $1,000 gator shoes, but you have some men with all these techniques. They can't cut it for women in the bedroom. They just have no heat game. They do not know how to put that heat down. Okay? They don't know how to beat it. They don't know how to eat it. Let's just be frank. We all adults here. If you got any children in the room, or you got any children sitting in the car while you're listening to this content, it may be best to play this at another time. Some men just do not know how to get a woman wet. They don't know how to get a woman to have an orgasm. You have some high value men that don't know what it takes to please a woman, because again, you have some high value men who feel like because they're high value, because they make all this money, because they're well dressed, they don't feel like they have to put in the work to sexually please a woman. And you got some men that are selfish. They don't feel like they have to please a woman. They feel like a woman has to do all the pleasing to them. They don't feel like they have to return. They don't have to do any sexual favors in return. They don't know how to keep a woman sexually stimulated. And when a woman is not being sexually stimulated, now this is not to condone it, and I'm not saying because a woman is not being sexually pleased by her mate that it's okay and it's acceptable for her to thirst trap, because it's not. But I'm saying that this is one of the reasons. Some of these men just have weak stroke game. They ain't hitting it right. They don't know how to make a woman shake. They don't know how to make her earthquake. You have some men that do not know how to make a woman earthquake. Okay? Some men just don't cut it. A lot of them don't want to believe that, because it's definitely an ego bruise to know that you can't sexually please your wife. And again, you have some men that are very arrogant and very cocky and feel like because they well dressed and they make a lot of money that they don't have to sexually please a woman. But if you're married, I'm not talking about if you're a man that's single and you're a bachelor, and that's different. But if you are married, it's very important that you make sure you putting it down. And it go both ways. Women have to please their husbands too. It go both ways. But in this event, we're talking about married women that are thirst trapping. Okay, so we'll save that content for another day about women that are not sexually pleasing their husbands. So we're gonna do topic content on that. So just stay tuned. That's coming soon too. So that's one of the reasons she's not being pleased sexually in her marriage. That is why you got these married women that are thirst trapping like Chrissy Teigen. I wouldn't be surprised if John Legend, he may be a very talented singer. I'm not going to take away that from him. I'm not going to say he's not successful. Ray Charles can see he's successful. But just looking at him, he don't strike me as the type of dude that can make a woman earthquake. I'm just saying. I ain't never been with the man. I'm just assuming. All right. Second reason for why married women be thirst trapping, posting these thirst trapping photos, trying to thirst trap and lure men. Her husband is being desired by other women. Now, for some strange reason, I preserve Ayesha Curry, whom is married to Steph Curry. That's with the Golden State Warriors, I think. I don't know a goddamn thing about sports. Hopefully I'm saying the right team. And I noticed she constantly, Ayesha Curry, she's been doing it a lot lately, especially since she lost weight and got the surgery done. She's been posting thirst trap photos, and she even admitted this in her interview, that she was jealous of her husband's attention that he gets from groupies, and which is how men would desire her like women desire her husband. I must admit that I was taken back when she made that comment. But the truth is, some married women are jealous of their high value husband's success. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do content on that, y'all. I want to talk about high value husbands. Not high value men, high value husbands. I think we need to talk more about that. But you have some women that are jealous of their high value husbands. So you have some married women that secretly compete with their high value husbands. In a world full of beautiful women, it's easy to become intimidated, especially if you are married to a very successful man, an athlete, a lawyer, doctor, business owner. A successful man has many options that are available to them. These side chicks have no filter or shame, and they don't mind ruining other women's households. They don't mind sabotaging marriages because these side chicks are not married. They don't have nothing to lose. When you're married to a high value man, you know he has multiple women that desire to be with him. The threat of a man's success can cause his wife to thirst trap. She wants to be desired like her husband. Being desired by her high value husband alone is not enough. Some married women can't just be content with being strictly desired by their high value husbands, but they also desire to be desired by other men because it makes them feel validated, and they want their husbands to be threatened by other men that desire them just like they are threatened by the other women who desire their husband. And this is not to say, Aisha Curry is not a beautiful woman, and she hasn't taken advantages of being married to a successful man, because she has. I think she did her own cooking line. She had her own pots, pans. She's doing something that a lot of black women, or a lot of married women that are married to high value husbands don't do. She's trying to start her own business. Any woman that's with a man of high value, if she's smart, she'll take advantage, of her husband's success by building her own success. Start your own, like I said, Aisha has her own cooking utensil brand, Kimora Simmons did it when she was married to Russell Simmons. She started her clothing line, Baby Fat, while Russell Simmons had Fat Farm. I mean, that is what you do. If you are a woman who have any common sense. Rest in peace, Kim Porter. She did it when she was with P. Diddy. Only difference was they wasn't married, but any woman who has any self-worth, that's what she would try to do, instead of sitting around wanting to look pretty and just ride around in limousines and sit by the jacuzzi and just wear a two-piece all day. She's going to try to do something fulfilling, because when you're with a successful man, something about being with a successful man, if you're a woman of any substance of value, it should drive you. It should motivate you. Like, damn, I'm with a man that got all of this success. Least I can do is try to benefit from it by starting my own company, my own business, do something. It's a lot of competition out there. This is why you have women like Aisha Curry that are married to these successful men. They know all of the options they high value husbands have, and it's especially when you're a woman who already has low self-esteem issues, it can be very challenging when you see all these beautiful women surrounding your husbands, your husband trying to, DM him, trying to, hang out in the hotel lobby, waiting for him to come in the hotel so they could smash, it's sad, but it's gotten to a point where you have a lot of women who can only find validation by messing with other women's husbands. That's the only way they can feel like they are worth something. They have to be fucking other people's husbands. That gives them a one up. They want to be able to say, oh yeah, I know he's married to her, but guess what? I'm smashing him. So evidently she's not doing a good job at home. She's not pleasing her husband. You have a lot of side chicks who think because somebody's husband is smashing them that automatically devalues the wife. Like she's not doing a good job. She's not handling her business. And that's far from the truth. That's a side chick myth. That's an appetizer's myth to think that a married woman is not doing her job at home, when it really has nothing to do with that. All coochie is not good coochie. It's just convenient coochie. Has nothing to do. It says nothing about the wife at home. You screwing a married man, you fucking a married man, does not define that man's marriage. It does not mean that he's not happy. It does not mean that his wife isn't doing it for him. But what it does mean is he's selfish, he's greedy, and he's an opportunist. If you're willing to put yourself out there like that, and he can get away with it by buying you a tennis bracelet, or taking you to a Chinese buffet, giving you some little side chick benefits, then so be it. And you still have this myth that a lot of side chicks believe that it's power in the vagina. A man can be into you and not even be into you. A man can sleep with you and not even be attracted to you. But these side chicks, these groupies, they really believe that a married man smashing them means that their wife is not doing it for them. It has nothing to do with the wife. It has everything to do with the fact is that he is still greedy. He's immature. And basically, he's just being an opportunist. And a lot of side chicks find this out when these high value husbands never leave the wives. And then when they never leave the wives, here comes the exposure. Here comes the receipts. Y'all want to send stuff to Shade Room. Y'all want to post photos on Instagram. You want to send it to the wife because you thought smashing him was going to give you a pass. You thought now you're going to get the same benefits as the wife. And when these side chicks find out they're not going to get those benefits, here comes the exposure. That's what happened to Anthony Carmelo. Except in his case, he actually not only smashed the side chick, but he got her pregnant. And guess what she did? She had to let the whole world know about it. And she sees to this day that even though she has this child from Carmelo Anthony, I keep getting his last name mixed up. She saw all of this exposure she did with Anthony, and even when, it did come out that the child belonged to him and LaLa is still together. Now, I don't know what level they married on, if they separated or not, because LaLa has not been wearing her ring, but Anthony is still claiming his wife. And when she saw Carmelo Anthony not making any moves, because she didn't just want the child, come to find out she wanted the life his wife had. She thought once she had the child, she was automatically going to get the same benefits as LaLa, only to find out that, yeah, Anthony Carmelo sends her a check, but that's all she gets. And now that's not even good enough. She wants to be claimed. She wants to be recognized. She wants to be acknowledged. And Anthony Carmelo ain't doing none of that. You never, ever, ever hear him talk about her. You never hear him talk. You never ever hear him talk about the daughter he had, the side chick baby he had. He don't claim that little girl. And she looks every spit like him. You know it's his, but he knows that he made a very terrible mistake that he cannot be proud of. He can't go around, parading this little girl and taking her to Disneyland and posting front cover magazines, with her. He does that with his son. Now, I noticed the son he had from his wife, LaLa, he acknowledges Kenyon. I think his son name is Kenyon, whatever his name is. Now, he acknowledges his son all the time. He does front cover poses magazines with his son all the time, because he knows that is the child he righteously got here the right way. So he can be proud of that. That's the child he had from his wife. He can be proud of that. He can't be proud of that other child because of how he got it here. He got it here through lust, not love. Now, he is taking care of the child. He has to do that. That's the least he could do, because the child didn't ask to be here. But guess what? Once a man is making his payments once a month, there's nothing else. A woman cannot expect him to do anything else he doesn't want to do. And what has happened is now that she's getting the money, that's not enough. She wants Carmelo Anthony to acknowledge. What good is getting the money when you're not getting the acknowledgement? You know how much that little girl could really benefit? People knowing that that's his daughter. But because he's not claiming her like that, that little girl will never get the same privileges as his son from LaLa will get. People will know of her, but she's never going to get any real benefits, because she's a side child. It's not a fault she has to be here. But I know I'm U-turning off of this, but this is just one of these things that, a lot of these are situations that a lot of married women unfortunately end up getting involved in when these high value men step outside of their marriage, when these groupies. And now I've been noticing LaLa Anthony, ever since her husband stepped out on her and had that child from, this side chick, she's starting to post more and more and more thirst trap photos. Now, she's a beautiful woman, and she definitely is very curvaceous, but she's never been the type of female. LaLa Anthony has never been the type of female that has always exploited herself. But ever since that scandal came out with her husband, I really believe what happened is it made her feel very insignificant. Nothing is worse than a married woman knowing her husband stepped out on her. Not only he stepped out on her, he also had a child from somebody else. That will make any married woman feel insignificant. So now she's constantly posting these thirst trap pictures because she has to feel valued, because her own husband didn't make her feel valued. It makes married women depreciate in value when their husbands, their high value husbands, step out on them. And that's whether if he conceives a child or not. The point that he steps out, period, can make a woman feels like, she's not worth anything to her husband. And that is why LaLa Anthony is always posting these explicit pictures of herself, because that is her way of still, she has to be reminded that she's desirable. Because a married woman being stepped out on, it can make her feel undesired. It can make her feel insignificant. And I've heard married men who have stepped out said, me stepping out, it had nothing to do with things being wrong on the home front. I've heard married men said, it was not that I was not happy. It was not that my wife wasn't doing it for me. It was just an opportunity. It was a moment of weakness. Had nothing to do with my wife not handling her business at home as a wife. And when you have high value men who lack discipline, and they let their hormones overrule their common sense, they get caught up in situations like this. It happens. This is stuff that people don't want to talk about. It's embarrassing, and especially if it has anything to do with exposing some of these black men with their faults. Because as we know, it's okay for black women to be exposed day in and day out. And you know me, I go in on both. So before anybody start coming for me, unless you viewed all of my content, Do not think that I am bashing uh or black men or putting black men down, but the truth of the matter is black men and black women, we all have faults, we all have issues, and the problem is we just want to highlight each other's faults and failures, when really we need to all take individual accountability for where we are struggling and where we are failing, instead of pointing out what everybody else needs to goddamn do. Work on you and work on what you need to do to better yourself as a black woman and a black man. How about that? So that's the second reason. Her husband is being desired by other women. You know, that can cause married women to go into thirst trapping mode, because again, they want that same pleasure of being desired. The third reason married women, are thirst trapping and posting these thirst trapping photos is her husband is Mr. Softy. Her husband is spineless. Anytime you see a married woman that's constantly setting thirst traps, this means she dominates the relationship. No married man is going to feel comfortable with his wife showing her goodies for the world to see. You have a lot of these married women out here that are married to high value men. You don't see them thirst trapping. You don't see LeBron James' wife posting all type of thirst trapping photos on Instagram. I've never seen LL Cool J's wife Simone posting thirst trap photos. A man that chooses a wife, he chooses a wife as his prized possession. So when you see a married woman that's always advertising, not advertising, advertising herself, her husband is a pushover. Men know how other men think. They know how men are. So the last thing a man would want is for his wife to be the barbershop talk. A married woman knows how her husband feels about her presenting herself in a certain way. Most men want their wives to be a freak in the sheets, but a lady in the streets. No married woman who has a married man who has strong leadership abilities in his marriage, she's not going to be advertising herself. Not when she has a husband that keeps her in check. There are certain things I know as a married woman I just cannot do. Period, point blank. Things that I know my husband is not going to allow under any circumstances. I cannot leave my house dressed revealing with booty short sewn and half my ass cheeks hanging out. I'm not, if my husband dare catches me in the streets dressed like that, it's definitely going to be some problems. But a woman who has a husband that is spineless, that lacks masculinity, she will run all over him. She don't care about embarrassing him. She will dress all kind of way in the streets. She will post all these thirst trap photos. Like, for instance, like I stated, John Legend, this is not the first time his wife has posted thirst trap photos. She did a photo one time where she was basically bent over doggy style, wearing leggings with John Legend's face printed on it. And I guess she thought she can do damage control by posting a thirst thought picture, but because she had John's Legend face imprinted on the tight ass leggings she was wearing, I guess that was her way of trying to soothe it over. But she was posed in a position where she should have been on the front cover of a porn DVD. And I'm like, you know what, lady, for you to be a married woman, you do a lot of thirst trapping. And you can tell her husband definitely he's a high value pushover. Like I said, but since everybody in the black YouTube sector is defining a high value man off of how much money he makes, yes, he's a high value man, but guess what? You got high value men that are spineless, that are pushovers, have no backbone. I know men who make money and their wives run the show. The wives are more masculine than they are. John Legend gives me feminine vibes. You look at how she says anything out her mouth in front of him. She doesn't care how she embarrasses him. We know who wears the pants and the panties. No, we know who wears the pants and we know who wears the panties. And I see John Legend as the one that wears the panties in that marriage. Because his wife is very reckless at the mouth. And anybody who's ever seen him do any interviews, anybody who's ever seen, both of them, having an interview and being asked questions and stuff, John Legend just sits up there and he allows his wife to embarrass him every time. So the women who have husbands that are softies, that are charm tissue material, these women will thirst trap because really they desire men that are more dominant. You have some females that have high value men that are soft who they will run all over, but will let a thug side dude dominate her while he's smashing her on the side. John Legend's wife would be the type of chick, if she met a thug dude that was really aggressive, he could get her. He could have her spending John Legend's money on him. She be the right type of better male, one that is smooth and knows how to finesse women. He'll be smashing her every chance he get, while John Legend, on the other hand, is still providing. These married women that are thirst trapping, they will do that. Especially if they got a soft ass husband. They will smash dudes that don't have nothing. But if the dude is dominant and aggressive, and if he knows how to put that pipe game down, he can get her. You can just tell the way she's constantly, Chrissy Teigen is constantly posting thirst trap pictures. She wanna get got. She want a thug in her life that's gonna give her some get right. Cause her husband ain't doing it for her. She ain't acting like he doing it for her. Now another reason you have married women that are thirst trapping, their husband is cheating on them. I said this with LaLa Anthony. Married women that are constantly being cheated on starts to feel inferior. A married woman that is always cheated on by her significant other will begin feeling worthless. She no longer feels valuable in the eyes of her high-value husband. So, the only way she can feel valuable is by seeking validation from other men. The attention of other men is a reminder that she is still attractive, that she is still desirable. Nothing is worse than a married man that's willing to give most of his time and attention to the women in the streets and the women that's not, than the woman that's in his own home. In other words, women in the street get more of his time compared to his own wife. Women that are constantly being cheated on, they're going to always thirst trap. Because again, they feel insignificant. They got to go on Instagram and post these revealing pictures. They got to constantly post pictures of themselves wearing two-piece bikinis and thongs. If she's married and she's doing that, that's because her man most likely is stepping out on her. He's still, you know what I mean? He's dealing with groupies. Don't think because a woman is beautiful that her husband still ain't stepping out on her, because it's plenty of beautiful women out here in the world. And it ain't even so much got nothing to do with looks. I've seen dudes jeopardize their households and have beautiful wives and smashing these Shrek looking chicks. Because you know why? These Shrek looking chicks, they know they got to put in overtime. They know they have to do way more things in the bedroom compared to the beautiful woman, because their looks already at default have them limited in options. So how the ugly chick is able to smash beautiful married women's husbands, she is willing to do things in the bedroom that a lot of beautiful women in many cases don't feel like they have to do, because again, we know beautiful women, attractive women get a pass on a lot of stuff. So that gives these Shrek chicks an advantage and going the extra mile. And we all adults here, so let's be frank. You got these Shrek looking chicks, these Wolverine looking chicks that will go the extra mile. They tossing these dudes salads. They're tossing their salads. They're licking balls. They doing all kind of stuff. And you have a lot of pretty women. I wonder why. How would he dare step out on me for this Shrek, for this Wolverine, for this beast? Because the beast knows she has to go the extra mile to make a man be interested in her. So she will do all kind of things in the bedroom. She will take it any way he give it. She won't complain if he have her bent like a pretzel, because she knows she cannot afford to turn down too many dudes, because based on how she looks, she's limited in options. So you have these ugly, unattractive chicks that will let these high value dudes smash any way they want to smash. And because of this, when these incidences occur, that is when these wives start feeling like they got to start thirst trapping, because their high value husbands are stepping out on them. So that's another reason why you have these married women that are thirst trapping. The next reason is she has low self-esteem. Being married doesn't automatically make you confident. There's this myth that because a woman is married, she's automatically happy. That is not true. Like I stated, you got some men that are great providers, but that don't make them great husbands. They don't know how to communicate with their wives. They don't spend time with their wives. All they know how to do is work, work, work. They come home from a hard day's work, take a shower, ask their wives to fix their plate of food, and then they go in their little man cave, flop on their recliner chair, and that's it. They don't communicate with their wives. They don't ask how her day was. You have some men that are unaffectionate. They don't kiss their wives when they come home. They don't hug their wives. Every time me and my husband, we see each other, as soon as he comes home, we automatically hug, period. I don't care if he's dirty in his construction uniform or whatever. We automatically hug each other. That has been our automatic routine. But you have some men, they have become so complacent in their marriage. Like you have some women who have become so complacent in their marriage. They don't feel like they need to be affectionate. They don't feel like they have to have sex with their husbands regularly. You have some men, they don't feel the need to make their wives feel appreciated or desired. So, a woman being married, it doesn't automatically bring her happiness. She can be married and be miserable as hell. This will cause her to start thirst trapping. She's not getting any attention at home. Her husband has basically become dull as a box of rocks. There's no chemistry in the marriage. The fire is gone. It's just reached a dead end. Which brings me to reason number 7 why married women are thirst trapping. Her marriage is reaching a dead end. Husband doesn't take her out anymore. He's no longer communicating with her. Not showing interest. Has nothing to do with cheating. And this doesn't necessarily mean he's cheating or stepping out. It just means the marriage is stale. No excitement. And you have some high value men like this. They feel like because they make money, they don't have to do anything else. There's plenty of married women that are married to high value men, have a closet full of expensive shoes, full of expensive pocketbooks. She has a closet full of expensive lingerie, but her husband is never there for her to share those things with him. What's the use of having a closet full of lingerie when you have a husband that no longer has any interest in you, that's not intimate with you? It's like the saying goes, success is not nothing if you don't have anybody to share it with. What's the use of having a closet full of Prada bags and you and your husband never go nowhere or do anything together? For you to show off your Prada bag, for you to show off those pretty dresses that you have in your closet, that $800 dress. He never wants to go anywhere or do any goddamn thing for you to wear it. It's just sitting there collecting dust. Or you got to constantly go out with your single friends. Who wants to keep doing that? Marriage is dead. Nothing is there. Like I said, he works, he provides, but he don't want to be bothered. He wants to come home and hang out and isolate himself in his man cave. He don't interact with her. He don't interact with his children. I know some married men like that. They come home and isolate themselves. They don't want nothing to do with the children. They don't want nothing to do with the wife. They come home, they play the food and they want to watch their TV. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want kids nagging them. They don't want their wife talking to them. They get in a man cave and that's it. And it's the last reason. She wants to make her husband jealous. You got married women that are thirst trapping. They want to make their husbands jealous. You have some women who feel like, well, if my husband sees how other men want me, how other men value me, how other men would desire to be with me, maybe that'll make him step his game up. Maybe that'll make him see my worth if I get him jealous. But in many cases, most cases, it backfires. Either he'll step out on her to make her feel like, hell, you lucky I'm even with you because look how many women want to be with me. So, in many cases, while you think when women do this thinking it's going to make him step his game up, what it does is it makes him step out instead of step up. But either way, in conclusion, it's not a good look for a married woman to be thirst trapping. I like I stated before, Chrissy Teigen had posted this picture that you see on my thumbnail on her Instagram. You are a married woman. None of these dudes out here should be seeing your nipples. The only man who should be seeing your nipples is your husband. As a married woman, there should not be men in the streets that know your body better than your own husband does. They should not be able to see your nipples. They should not be able to see your vagina. They should not see certain parts of your body that should only be special for your husband. And whenever I see these married women that are acting out like this and they're acting like thoughts, they're giving off Jezebel vibes. It's 9 times out of 10 it has to have something to do with these elements I just told you. She's not being pleased enough, or her husband is desired by so many other women. Her husband is soft. He's cheating on her. She has low self-esteem. There's something in the buttermilk that ain't clean. There's no way a married woman should not be protecting her marriage by not being so over revealing by how she dresses and the way she carries herself. Furthermore, a man who really loves his wife, he's not going to allow her to embarrass him and present herself in that manner and not check her about it. And that's just how it is. And it has nothing to do with, well, he's controlling her. It has nothing to do with controlling somebody. You should automatically know as a woman, as a married woman, there are just some things you don't do when you leave your residence. Certain things you don't need to be posting on Instagram or Facebook. Not as a married woman. You got all of these dudes that got access to your page or who can go on your page and see these pictures, and you don't feel like you don't think it's unacceptable for you to post these thirst trap photos. Something is definitely wrong with that. So anyway, I'm going to get ready to shut it down. I want to know y'all opinion. What is y'all opinion on these married women that are thirst trapping, that are posting pictures of themselves, of revealing themselves, of wearing very revealing material, of them exploiting their marriages, embarrassing their husbands, do you think it's a good look? Or do you think women, or that you know, a woman could be very free with revealing her body and still have respect for her husband at the same time? I mean, some people may not really see nothing wrong with it. Like I know it's Aisha Curry, like I said, you know, she's definitely had a lot of those self-esteem issues in her marriage, and she even said it. She used to be a little heavier at one point in time, weight-wise, than what she is now. Now she has gone to the extreme of getting the surgery. She has lightened her skin color. She's bleached her skin. You know, all of this to try to keep up with these groupies outside of her husband's career. You seen Tiny do it. T.I., rapper T.I.'s wife. You see how she's gotten permanent green contacts. She has had so much surgery done to her body till her butt looks deformed. You know, and a lot of people think, and T.I. think a lot of women is hating on his wife, and I'm sure most of them are, but at the same time, a lot of women ain't hating on his wife. She looks terrible. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. Tiny was a very beautiful woman, but when T.I. kept stepping out on her, she felt like she had to keep up with his competition. She started stepping out there, dressing like and trying to look like the groupies that was getting her husband's attention, getting all type of butt jobs and stuff done, and you know, she shaped like, you know, like a letter P. Her body looks deformed from all them surgeries, trying to be desirable for her husband, who evidently has shown that he still desires other women, which is why she felt the need to have to go that far to keep her husband's attention. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Let me know what y'all think down below. Again, ladies, please subscribe to my platform if you haven't already, Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Those of you who are interested in cable, if you have an Amazon Fire Stick, I sell cable for $26 a month, over 12,000 channels. All your stars, all your HBOs, you know that P-Valley Season 2 is coming up. I got you. You get all of that and more for only $26 a month. Before y'all exit this video, please make sure y'all take a second and hit that thumb up. It's for free. It's only a second. Hit that thumb up before you exit the stage. Those of you who want to donate to my movement, information, everything's already in the box below. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna shut it down. It is your girl, your diva of knowledge, Lady Mocha. Represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Y'all take care. Be blessed.